Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're giving you our Week 4 fantasy football starts and sits for the Thursday night football game between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. That's right, the one you've been waiting all season for. You know that they're just bringing the heat on Thursday nights here, guys. We're here to help you make all the right decisions on who should be in your lineup and who you need to sit. And guess what? It's a lot of names that you need to sit. Let's start this fantasy football podcast right meow.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Fantasy Football Upside. I am Justin. That is Kyle. He's bouncing around, doing his thing. He's rocking the microphone in the hand. So
I have to because this is a road show, right? So that's what you got to do.
Show.
Yeah,
you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
Hey, thank you all for dropping by our Fantasy Football podcast and YouTube channel. I mean, this is what we do. We bring it to the fans, everybody. We're bringing it to the fans.
Yep.
Today, we're going to hit you with the Thursday night football starts and sits between the Jacksonville Jags and the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, I'm going to hit you guys with this information. I'm going to beat you right to the punch there, Kyle, too.
Boom. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they hit you with it.
Yeah, but ahead of this Thursday night's game, yesterday we dropped the waiver wire pickups for Week 4. So definitely check that out in the description below and kind of where Kyle points.
Yep.
You're going to want to look to see who we said to pick up, but also see who was dropped.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have a question on somebody that was dropped in your league, surprisingly, put that down in the comments below. We'll answer for you.
Write that down.
That's right. Write that down.
What you got, Kyle, before we get right into it?
I just wanted to point out I'm wearing my Zero RB shirt in honor of my team that is in our league, right? Because I started 3 running backs and I might as well not have because I have Jonathan Taylor, David Montgomery, and James Robinson. Robinson actually showed up for the first time this season, but the other two, Matt Nagy and Urban Meyer. There you go. That's all you need to know, right? 10 carries the whole game to guys who are top 10 talents in the league. That's what you do, I guess, right? But
I don't know. You got a mobile quarterback in Justin Fields, and you go ahead and just leave him in the pocket all day long.
1 yard and 1 yard passing, right? 1.1. I think it was the lowest since 2008 by a team, and I think they had in the first half they had like negative 1 yard, which is a record in like 90 years or something. So,
I had one real quick. Justin Tucker's game-winning field goal was 66 yards, which is about 20 some odd yards more than total offense the Bears had in Week 3.
Yeah, my favorite is that Matt Nagy. I mean, we're just bashing on the Bears here. We're not meaning to do that, but hey, Bears fans are bashing on the Bears too right now because Matt Nagy then in his press conference after the game said that they needed to check the tape. It's like, what do you need to see at this point? It's been 3 weeks. You've checked the tape each week. How about figuring it out during the game, right? I mean, at this point, you're a head coach. You should be able to go, you know what, this stuff out here, this isn't working. Why don't we try different plays, guys? You know, rather than this constant just, I don't know what it is, man. It's just absolutely atrocious. And I'm sorry, but I don't think Justin Fields is the savior of this team, but I don't think he's that bad. That was just ridiculous. So, yeah.
I mean, is this Adam Gase 2.0?
Yeah, why not?
When it comes to destroying quarterbacks?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, what was it we were talking about the other day? Was it the other day that we were talking about the tweet that I sent to you that somebody had said Mitch Trubisky took Matt Nagy's offense to the playoffs twice. He may be the greatest QB of all time, right? Hey,
so damn.
Yeah. I think it was
if the shoe fits.
Was it Nate Burleson that was apologizing to Mitch Trubisky saying, "Hey man, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was not you. It was Matt Nagy the whole time that was screwing everything up." Yeah.
That would be actually something Nate Burleson would say.
Yeah. So there we go. Hey guys.
All right.
This is kind of stuff you like. Click that like button down below. I know this is a little bit longer intro than you're used to, but if you have a question, you got a start sit question, feel free to drop that down below because we do talk about all of your start sit questions, address them during our Sunday pregame live stream that we do, which has been a lot of fun so far. We're keeping it going. I think we're actually adding a third person in to kind of help us organize things so that we can keep it moving along during the show itself, actually. And, you know, kind of keep it hopping. And look, it's been fun, but if you want to see that and you want to ask your question, you need to be subscribed as well as clicking the bell down below so that you're notified when we start that live stream, as well as if you're subscribed, you'll be able to comment or ask questions during that time. So if you have a question and you're not subscribed and you want to ask that question to us about who you should start, you got to raise your hand down below and drop a comment. That's right. We will help out.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah, it's beautiful. All right, guys, let's talk about that Thursday night football, that big banging game that we've got going. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Cincinnati Bengals, right? Let's see here. Let's dive in head first into the shallow end and get moving on that. All right, we've got Jacksonville. I guess I'll take Jacksonville. I don't really want to take Jacksonville, but Urban Meyer did, and so here we are. Trevor Lawrence, you cannot start him in any format right now until Urban Meyer is gone, I'm pretty sure, because even when he causes him to throw 51 times, it's still not good. There's nothing good about it right now. It's not Trevor Lawrence's fault. It is entirely the fact that Urban Meyer has no offensive scheme that is valuable in the NFL right now. He has no clue how to make this offense work. They weren't even this bad last year. It's pretty atrocious. James Robinson, I've got as a flex value right now. He's being hurt by Urban Meyer more than most, I think, actually. They have to run the ball more. They just simply need to run the ball more. Take the ball out of the rookie's hands and put it into the sophomore's hands a little bit more at least. You cannot rush him 10 times roughly the first 2 weeks and then 15 times in the third week and hope that that's going to be worth something. It's just not going to work. And so, until they change that, I don't see Robinson coming up out of the flex value range. Now, this is a Thursday night game. Even though I'm saying he's flex value, that does not mean put him in at flex. I'm saying that he provides somewhere around running back 3 territory value.
Yep.
And I would probably say all of running back 3 up to the point of like the 9th running back 3 is a startable player. But do not put them in your flex for Thursday night because you need to keep that open for injury potential of other players during the week. And you want to have that flexibility to make those changes all the way through to Sunday. There you go. That's where it comes from. Yep. All right. Yep. You got it right. Yeah.
Don't be that guy.
All right, guys. The one start that I have actually is Marvin Jones. He had a down week last week, but he's finished in the first 2 weeks. He finished as a back-end wide receiver too. So I think that's pretty solid. I think you could start him with confidence this week. That we've got that wonderful secondary out of Cincinnati. So he's just going to be shut down completely, right? Not at all. He's seeing a high level of volume from Trevor Lawrence, and you never know. Urban Meyer might try to get Trevor Lawrence to throw the ball 70 times, and if that happens, heck, man, Marvin Jones should have at least 60 catches in that game. DJ Chark, he's a flex value, but I would be very careful here, right? He's doing all right. He could blow up for you if you've got a spot for him on your roster. I don't know if you've got a spot for him in your lineup. So it's going to be a tough one to put him into the lineup until you start seeing consistency out of him. And I don't think that's happening out of the Jaguars this year. So I don't know if I'd go and spend any fab budget or anything like that to pick him up and throw him into my lineup. I think there's a lot better opportunity out there. And if you've got him on your team, even though he's a flex value this week, he might be droppable. I know he got dropped last week in our league, and I don't think that he got picked up. And we're a pretty brutal league when it comes to like sniping each other. So I think he's still sitting on our wire, which kind of surprised me once he cleared waivers. People were so hot on Chenault, but Urban Meyer, it's the Urban Meyer effect, right? It's like Adam Gase. It's just killing it.
The worst.
All right, and then we lost our friend Shag Hennessy.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Yeah, James O'Shaughnessy, he is now on the IR. He had potential there, so it's kind of a sad thing. Jacob Hollister is the guy right now who's the value, but what value is that? I would say that maybe if you're like trying to blow the season in a 2 tight end dynasty league and you just want a good pick in the draft next year, you can make that start, right? And I don't think you could start him unless Trevor Lawrence is going to be made to throw 51 plus passes by Urban Meyer again. I don't see how any of these tight ends are going to garner value for you in a situation in which they don't throw that many times. And we were actually talking right before we started recording that Dan Arnold was part of a trade to the Jaguars today, and so Dan Arnold's there, but I wouldn't expect much out of him generally on this team, but just especially not this week. So that's what I've got on the Jaguars. What do you have on the Bengals, Justin?
Well, I do have a few more starts because the Bengals are playing the Jags, so there's some opportunity there. I am going to start Joe Burrow. I think you have to start him against this defense. I mean, it's kind of a rubber band defense. Yeah. Then Joe Mixon, you're going to start him, but I mean, does anybody know the fact that he's finished outside the top 24 running backs in weeks 2 and 3? I mean, if you listen to us, you would have known that, but he finished as the number 1 running back in week 1. So that's going to kind of float him here the next couple of weeks. But, if he doesn't blow up against this team, then you should really be worried about his potential value for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
maybe
I
try
think
to
this,
sell high.
Yeah, I think it's a sell high moment coming out of this week, because how many times are you going to get to face the Jags, right? And I think this line is just not good enough, man. It's just not good enough all around.
It's not. T. Higgins, if he plays, you start him. So you really have to kind of pay attention to what happens. He was out with the shoulder injury. He was doubtful going into the Sunday game, and then they ruled him out. So that's never a good sign. If it was questionable, then ruled out. But they already kind of had an idea that he was not going to play. Another one, Jamar Chase. Is he proving us wrong a little bit? Yes, maybe.
It's a long season.
It is a very long season, and they are force feeding him the ball. One thing I do want to note that you mentioned that Dan Arnold was going to the Jags. One thing that the Jags traded away was their 2020 first round pick. I think the number 10 pick, and CJ Henderson already cut bait on him. So cornerback situation is still probably in flux for the Jags. But another one to kind of keep your eye out at the wide receiver. Let's see T. Higgins sits again. Tyler Boyd, he was startable again last week whenever T. Higgins did sit. I think it would become a decent start if Higgins were to miss again. Hopefully not. But other than that, I don't have anything else of note in the tight end room. But I got a couple decent starts here, in my opinion, just because of what this matchup looks like.
Yeah, but I think that they're, other than maybe Mixon, and I don't see Higgins playing on a short week after missing on Sunday. I'd be surprised if he's a full go, even if he is out there. I think it's more of like classic decoy play kind of. And so I think outside of Mixon, I don't know that I would start anybody unless I had to, actually. It's just because it's
not even your Joey B, huh?
No, I don't trust this offensive line enough. That's the problem. And without Higgins being fully healthy, you've got reduced quality at wide receiver, right? I mean, Higgins is, in my mind, clearly the best wide receiver on that team. I think that maybe in the long run, it's possible that Jamar Chase passes him, but not for what this offensive line's capable of doing to like, as far as buying time for Burrow to stand back there and hit Jamar Chase down the field. Now, they did look a little bit better against Pittsburgh. If I recall correctly, I think TJ Watt did play, didn't he? But he was still seriously hampered. Or did he actually sit out? I'm thinking of Bosa and making the last minute start. So TJ Watt was out, so they couldn't bring as much pressure. And when you can't get pressure, it screws with the back end of the defense. All kinds of problems crop up. That defense is a really good defense. The linchpin of the defense was gone, and then it obliterated them in large part. And I think that I think you could go with Mixon, but that's about it for me on a short week. And I think even that's a roll of the dice a little bit. But if you paid up for him, you're probably going to start him no matter what we say here.
You probably draft him as your running back 1 or running back 2, and you're going to have to start him. Which
I hope you were able to get him as a 2, but.
Yeah, we both avoided the hell out of him. That's for sure.
A lot of promise. It's kind of like Sanders, but I think a little bit more disappointing than Miles Sanders, because I think that Mixon has shown the ability to perform at a higher level than Sanders has ever done. Like, Sanders might have had a couple games that were worthwhile, but Mixon has had a lot more and has shown real flashes. I mean, he was running back 1 in week 1, right?
Either.
So it's I think a little bit more disappointing in the long run. So, that's what we got. All right, guys, that's it for the Thursday night football game between the Jaguars and the Bengals. Hopefully that's helpful. I don't know how many people are going to need that kind of help here this week, but maybe you do. I don't know. Make sure that you check out our full breakdown of every other game this week. It's coming on Saturday morning, and make sure you're subscribed, as well as have clicked that bell so you're notified when we go live on Sunday. Get all your questions answered. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Thanks for hanging around. Bye.
See ya.